The Global Championship Finals just wrapped up, and we finally know who won the massive $4 million LAN, and who else but the now 6-time FNCS winner Mero and his duo Cooper, winning the FNCS Global Championship by 60 points and coming in first place and taking home the $1 million prize. This duo played absolutely insane all day long and started out the tournament going insane. Their first 3 games were a second with 7 elims, a second with 5 elims, and then a fifth with 5 elims as well. They played insane all day long and are bringing home the trophy to NA, and NA is finally back on top of Fortnite competitive. It's crazy to think Cooper had under $10,000 earned last year, and now after this win has over $500,000 earned. Cooper and Mero have been playing insane all year, and to top it off with this FNCS LAN win, and I'm super happy for them. Next in second place was the favorites heading into the tourney, Cammy and Seti. They played pretty well today while also contested by Asia duo Datus and Stain, and they did the most with what they had. They had some really good games, and they also had some games where they kind of died early and didn't really get any points, but they still clutched up and finished second place and take home $650,000. Coming in third place after an absolutely insane finish was Trulex and Chicho. Trulex and Chicho won the last 2 games of the tournament, one with 4 elims and one with 9 elims, to help absolutely soar up the leaderboards and place third. They were calmed by Kwani and TK, and let's just say Kwani and TK didn't have a very good tourney. Trulex and Chicho 5-1 Kwani and TK, and this along with those 2 wins I just mentioned helped get them third place and bring home $200,000 each, $400,000 total. Next in fourth place was Pixie and Cheatin', another team that won 2 games in a row. Pixie and Cheatin' won game 2 and 3, one with 6 elims and one with 8 elims. They started out the tourney going insane, but sadly the last 3 games just didn't go as planned. They only got 16 points in those last 3 games, but anyways, they still got 4th place and are going to get $300,000 total. Pixie and Sheen, if you don't remember, actually took the place of Nafrizzi and Halley, team from EU that qualified through the last chance major, but got disqualified due to being Russian players. And this set up Pixie and Sheen to play at the LAN, and they used the most of this opportunity to secure 4th place. Next in 5th place, we have MK Papa and Shalam. An Asia team placing 5th is absolutely insane. This is the greatest placement by an Asia team in any LAN in Fortnite history. This team absolutely popped off today and finished insanely well, getting a 2nd and an 8th place in their last 2 games. I'm super happy to see an Asia team place this high. Kinda sucks that it wasn't Zago and Peppleclip, but I'm still happy that a team from Asia still placed this high and is going crazy for their region. Next in 6th place was Chubbs and Brycex. Chubbs and Brycex went crazy today. The first 2 games didn't go very well for Chubbs and Brycex today, but after that they absolutely popped off. And they're going to be taking home $150,000 total, $75,000 each. Chubbs and Bryce have been one of the most underrated teams on NA all year long, and to pop off at LAN really cements them as one of the most underrated, but also one of the best NA teams, and I think are now going to start getting the respect they deserve. Moving on in 7th, we have Acorn and Cold, another NA team, one of the favorites heading into the tourney, but sadly they didn't get it done, but they still had a pretty solid placement, getting 7th place. Acorn and Cold had a couple bad games, which ultimately made it pretty hard to win the tournament, but they still popped off a couple games, and it's good to see them in 7th place after such a good year, winning FNCS and coming top 6 twice. And even though they didn't win the FNCS Global Championship, I still think they're one of the best teams on NA and one of the best teams in the world. And I think if they got their split fully uncon, they probably could have came top 3 and had a way better chance at winning. Next in 8th place, we have another NA team, Yamzo and Rise. Yamzo and Rise came top 18 every game, but only had 2 top 10s. So overall, it was a good day, but some of these games they probably wish they could get back and get a little bit further and boost them up the rankings even more. Next in 9th place, we have Reet and Ritual. Reet and Ritual had a pretty solid performance today, coming top 10 3 different times, but they also had 3 games where they kind of didn't really get too many points. Reet and Ritual are still a really underrated duo. Ritual is still a pretty new IGL, and I hope he can keep building off of this and become an even better IGL heading into next year. And it's really nice still seeing Reet doing well after not really having the greatest year last year, and also seeing 2 controller plays in the top 10. You know I love to see that. Then rounding out the top 10, we have Vico and Pink, the other team that was contesting Acorn and Cold. They both were splitting it, and sadly both of them just sometimes didn't really have any loot and really had to force themselves to fight to get loot or to get surge. So overall, Vico and Pink did the best with what they had. They did start out the tournament really good, getting a 6th, 11th, and 12th, and were also top 5 halfway through the tournament, but didn't have the greatest second half, so they ultimately fell to 10th. Now I want to talk about the rest of the top 25. In 11th place was Queasy and Vino. This may come to a surprise to a lot of people seeing them in 11th, but Queasy and Vino had a pretty rough day with zones and also struggled with Surge a couple games, and games where they made it in game didn't really get high like they planned to and were kind of griefed out of height. So overall a good day for other people, but in 11th place for Queasy and Vino isn't a good day if you ask them. 12th place was Grippy and Flixie having a solid day from Mega City, and 13th was Carmi and Vanyak, and 14th was Rapid and Batman Booga, and 15th was Tayson and Merstash, and 16th was Poyo and Sphinx, and 17th was Misha and Teeny, and 18th was Agers and Kanata, and 19th was Chari and G-Ross, and 20th was Robon and Axe Force, and 21st was M. Sherry and Rue, 22nd was Nutty and Gabzera, and 23rd was Threats and Booga, 24th was Axidaz and Striker, and 25th was Crisp and Noxy. We have Peerbot and Byla in 26th, Podesai and Snazy in 27th, Rezon and Janice in 28th, Lucy and Steno in 29th, Muzz and Paper in 30th, Blaha and Mixon in 31st, Dukes and Edgy in 32nd, Hin and Vask in 33rd, Peppo Clip and Zago in 34th, Moneymaker and Fanayan in 35th, Badil Mr. Savage in 36th, Clement and Kaizen in 37th, Bobby and Larkpex in 38th, Thomas HD and Malibuka in 39th, Source and Yumi in 40th, Kylie and Fastroki in 41st, iDrop and Mappy in 42nd, Baka and Pars in 43rd, Sinted and Polarize in 44th, Stain and Datus in 45th, Grolls and Clown in 46th, Ketos and PHN in 47th, Thoric and Bolts in 48th, Alex and Worthy 49th, and Kwani and TK in 50th. Let's backtrack a little bit and go up to 18th and talk about Agers and Kanata versus Thomas HD and Malibuka, the most anticipated off spawn we've seen in a while. Once again, Kanata took care of the EU boys off spawn. I don't know why they still contest him. Kanata 5-1 Thomas HD and Malibuka and gave Thomas HD his worst FNCS finals placement ever. Going into this tourney, Thomas HD's worst placement in FNCS finals was just 18th place, and in this tournament, Kanata and Agers made them place 39th. An absolute insane off spawn day for Kanata and Agers, absolutely popping off, and just like I said in my video yesterday, I expect them to win this off spawn because they were genuinely outdropping Thomas HD and Malibuka. Every game in the upper bracket, they just were tossing, and today they did no tossing at all. Other surprising teams that I talked about in this top 25, yes, Threats and Booga got 23rd. Going into the second half of the tourney, they were literally in last place. So coming in 23rd after 6 games really isn't that bad. They finished the tourney off playing a little bit like we think they would. They got an 11th and a 3rd place, but ultimately a really disappointing placement once again for Booga at LAN. From what I've been hearing, it's just another year Booga not really practicing a lot heading into the big tourney, and just like last year, the placement's pretty disappointing. Overall, the tourney was super hyped, and it's super lit that NA finally won a LAN again. NA was looking superb all day long, even with some of the top name teams on NA kind of struggling. This tourney was also filled with a lot of surprising teams doing bad, and yes, that comes with this 6-day format. I personally like this 6-day format more than last year's 12-day format. I just think with a 12-day format, it's kind of hard to keep the energy levels up the whole way through because there's just so many games. Let me know down in the comments below which format you like better, the 6-game format or the 12-game 2-day format. And also let me know your thoughts on everything that happened today, any surprises to you, and also anything you saw that you actually expected to happen. I can't wait for another LAN. I hope you guys enjoyed this weekend just as much as I did. I can't wait for the next LAN. I hope you guys enjoyed this tournament just as much as I did. Hopefully we have that DreamHack solo tournament in December at Atlanta like it's kind of been rumored to maybe be. Hopefully that ends up happening so we can see some more LAN Fortnite action again. That's going to wrap it up for this video for me, guys. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you are new to the channel. I'm trying to hit 5K. Hopefully we can hit 5K based on all these videos about the FNCS Global Championship. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time.